happened to the planet Earth? Where is
Good evening, DTM Sadika.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Zubair, Division A Director.
Good evening. Great to meet you. It's an honor and pleasure to be here.
Thank you. We are waiting for your session.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Smita. How are you? Long time.
Very lovely to see you on screen. Very lovely. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Hi, Mehtab. How are you?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Yeah, good. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. Hi, Study. Long time not seeing you. You are here?
Hello, sir. How are you? I'm good here.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yes.
Tabasi is coming, joining. Many people are joining now. Welcome, Tabasi.
Good evening,
District
everyone.
Director Tayalan sir has joined. District Admin Manager Ravi Shankar has joined us.
Surdi, I am here. I'm just getting coordinating something else. I'll be joining back there.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Smita.
Hi, Christopher. Tabasi Kumar. We have a lot of leaders also joining us. Good evening, everyone. I request everyone to please be comfortable. We'll be starting the session soon. Dear dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters, gaffiers, esteemed guests, and our trainer, distinguished Toastmaster SADIKA KEBBI, a very warm good evening to all. I'm Toastmaster Shruti Maman, your host for this evening, and I have immense pleasure in welcoming each and everyone to the Brain Drill Educational Workshop. First and foremost, I would request your attention to the district mission. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Let me now set some ground rules for this training session. Except for the speaker, all attendees' audio shall be kept at off position, and all are requested to switch on the camera so that the session can be interactive unless you face bandwidth issue. All speakers are requested to refrain from speaking topics about sex, politics, and religion. For a better experience of this Zoom meeting, please keep your screen on speaker's view. This meeting will be recorded, and no other attendees are permitted to record without prior permission. Today, I'll be supported by a vibrant Toastmaster who will play the role of co-host and timer during this session. He hails from Kerala, India, and is in Qatar for more than 10 years, working as a lead instrumentation and control engineer in one of the prominent oil and gas engineering consulting companies. He joined the Toastmasters to improve his communication and leadership skills and is a member of Excel and Galaxy Toastmasters clubs. Please give a loud round of applause to Toastmaster Nijaz Noor. To take this session further, we have yet another dynamic Toastmaster playing the role of MC and Q&A moderator. She was born and raised in the sunny continent of Africa, and there are two things that keep her completely engrossed with life. One is her profession of being a chartered accountant. Her love for numbers keeps her busy. And the second is, there is never a dull day while raising her twin boys. Being in Qatar for the last 15 years makes this beautiful country her second home. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Smita Abraham. Toastmaster Smita, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti, for your wonderful introduction. SADIKA KEBBI, our guest speaker for the evening, dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters, and guests from all over the globe. Good evening. As part of the District 116 Toastmasters Annual Conference, Virtue Vocal 2021, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to our special training session with DTM SADIKA KEBBI. Before we get the ball rolling, let me share with you how our evening will flow. The training is an interactive one. There will be a question and answer session post the presentation by Ms. Sadika. Please send in your questions to me privately while the session is going on, and don't wait till the end. I do request you all to also keep your questions short, relevant, and of course, purposeful. Now the time has come for me to introduce our trainer for this evening, Miss SADIKA KEBBI. SADIKA is, of course, a distinguished Toastmaster, a corporate trainer, workshop designer, and an inspirational storyteller. SADIKA is also a John C. Maxwell licensed coach and a TEDx speaker and a member of the National Storytelling Network in the USA. The title for our session this evening is Thrive in Adversity. Let us give her a big round of applause. Ms. SADIKA, the screen is yours.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I would like to tell you that there will be questions all through my presentation, but due to time limiting, I would be taking one person per question so we can have enough time to share the whole presentation together. Thank you. Can you all see my screen? Okay, perfect. Her slit throat still haunts me to today. On the 4th of August, 2020, Beirut blast, I was propelled back into 1975 when Jenna, my friend, my neighbor, my classmate, was slaughtered in the streets of Beirut due to the civil war that was ongoing at the time. For a split of a second, anger and fear took over me. But the heroine within me called courage to grasp at me again and put me on the right track. I was on my way to a training on that dreadful day, the 4th of August. But instead of going to the training, I went to the site where the blast took place and tried to help people as much as I could. And this is, as I said, due to the heroine that was within me and that put me on the right track again, the track of hope. For you see, it is true that I come from the Paris of the Middle East, but it is also true that I come from a country which is full of adversities. And every single day we are faced by a different challenge. If there wasn't hope, we wouldn't have kept on going. I would like one of you to share with me one of those adversities you are facing nowadays, whether you are stuck somewhere, whether your fears are holding you back in some way or another, or if you have done something new and was challenging for you and kept you from going on. And I would like our MC to help me choose the participant who will take this question.
If the people, the attendees could just raise their hand, and that would help me know that you have a response to the query, to the question that's put out there, that would be most helpful.
Where is courage? Anyone?
You may unmute yourselves if you wish. Okay. Toastmaster Tapaswi.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. So actually, I would like to go with the second one.
Yes.
What particular fears are holding you back? And most of the time, when I was speaking and delivering the speech, it comes in our back of mind that what happen if I lose the track, or what happen if I will miss some of the sentences which I supposed to utter. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'll give you a tip here. Keep it in mind. What you know, they don't know. So if you skip a sentence, if you skip a paragraph, if you skip a word, anything, they will not know that. Just keep on going. Okay. In order to continue my life after this traumatic event, especially in 1975, I needed to change direction. And somebody, of course, at the time I was only 10, I wouldn't have known how to cope with that and how to change this direction. There was this man, my father's childhood friend, whom we took refuge when our neighborhood was heavily bombarded. We went to his home, and his name is Uncle George. He was a priest, and he studied with my dad from school to university. The minute we stepped into his house, he changed our names in order to protect us. For in the evening, on the same day, 10 armed masked men knocked violently at his door and asked him to hand in the Muslims he was hiding. But Uncle George stood his ground, and he said that it was only his brother, his immigrant brother, coming from the States to visit. And within few seconds, those 10 men just disappeared. In that moment, my world tumbled. I thought at the time I knew whom to hate, but I was questioning things again here. 2 years ago, Christians took the life of my best friend, and 2 years later, a Christian is saving my life and my family's life. He even took it a step further. He would lead the way and walk the way every single day whenever we had a peace treaty. He would drag me along to help people get bread, to help people get water, to serve every single minute. And he would keep on repeating a sentence which later became my philosophy of life. When you hold God in your heart, the human he created reveals itself by serving others. And then, and only then, even your enemy becomes human. At the moment, I did not comprehend those words. I didn't even understand their meaning. But with time, the Georges around me multiplied. Why? Because Uncle George shifted my way of thinking, and I started seeing the good in people instead of seeing the bad in people. So the first thing to do to strive in adversity is to change our thinking and shift our thinking. Another question for you, my dear audience. Why is it so easy to have a negative perspective when a crisis hits? And the easiest crisis you can think of now is Corona or COVID-19. Can someone please take that question?
Yeah, hello. My name is Setupati, Albanese Club Vice President Education. Basically, yeah, nice to talk to you. Basically, we have anxiety and fear over the corona. If the cases of death is increasing, immediately anxiety and fear is coming. Therefore, negativity persists. Thank you.
Okay. What if we think that at least we know what the virus is? At least we have researchers that have worked hard to find a vaccine. Why don't we shift our thinking from negative to positive in order to become more creative in such a crisis and try to be more productive? So it's all about the mindset. Another thing, another one for you, my dear audience. Share one thing you can do as a leader to stay positive in times of crisis.
Yes, I would like to share. My name is VC Mashood.
Yes.
Actually, when I have given time to the people, those who really need to listen, when I become a listener for them, it gets relaxed. As a counselor and a success coach, I could be able to help many people. They were not in a position to sleep, and some of them were anxious. I mean, they were even to be suicided. So that people now, they are not ready to listen. They're always talking. Now we are Toastmasters. Toastmasters teaches us to, for speech and deliver lectures. Unfortunately, sometimes we need to just be a listener, not a listener, a strong listener, a peaceful listener. This is what in my experience I would share there. Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, it's
Yeah,
as
I
simple
agree. I agree. Statement.
as simple as listening. Okay. In your opinion, when do people change? We're going to see when do people change. People change when they hurt enough that they have to. And this goes to me again, to my experience. We are hurting every day here in Lebanon, every single day. And now with the economy collapsing, with our money stolen from banks, with everything we are facing, it is becoming more challenging day after day. But we are changing in order to change the country. And I would like to share with you that a year ago, I started a movement called Transformation Lebanon. I am a value-based leadership specialist, and I started a value-based leadership program. We started with 25 people a year ago, and the ripple effect has gone to 1,000 now. I have 1,000 on my team, and 75 of them are facilitators. We have reached out to Iraq now. We have next week starting the program with 100 Iraqi students, high achievers, Iraqi students. And this is growing. And why? It's because hope fuels urgency. Urgency feeds desire. Urgency inspires courage, and urgency calls for action. Another question for you. Do you think of the word advantages when you hear of the word crisis, and why? Can anyone take that question, please?
Yes, here once again, Sedipati.
Yes.
There is a term called seize the opportunity and seize the moment. Whenever we are hit by adversity or any downfall, it is no point in crying in the spilled milk or spilled beans. We have to get up and do this one. We have to make this as an opportunity. The people around us will be very happy if I am happy, if I am earning, if I am healthy. That is one among the reason when I fall down, I have to get up and I have to try once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. Advantages of a crisis. Let's think of the advantages of the crisis. The first one is it changes the balance of risk and reward when the status quo is broken. It increases our focus and it eliminates distraction. And it identifies, most importantly, it identifies leaders, and especially new leaders that step up to lead. Because the leaders that were leading, they led us to the crisis. This is where they led us to. This is why we have a rebirth, if you want, during crisis of new leaders, especially within the youth. The third thing that we need to do when we strive in adversity is to make the right turn. We can give excuses as usual, but we can also make changes, but we cannot do both. This is very important. Either we give excuses, either we make change. And leaders definitely go for the second one. And I would like to share with you here a story of one of the CEOs and owners of a company called Averda in Lebanon, whom I had the honor to work for 5 years. In 2006, we had another Israeli attack on Lebanon. And Averda is, by the way, a cleaning and waste management company. The CEO himself and the owner himself slept for 42 days with his managers and supervisors in the company because the workers couldn't come to the company, could not reach the company because of the situation. He slept over for 42 days in the company, and himself and his managers cleaned the streets of Beirut. They did the job the workers did. He was such an inspirational leader, and he just didn't make any excuse. The garbage was there, the waste was all over the place, but there was no time for excuses. It was time for changes to be made, and him and his team went into the streets and cleaned the streets of Beirut. Another question for you, my dear audience. How do we make a turn and overcome adversity? Who would like the right turn and overcome adversity?
Toastmaster
Yes.
Sundar here from India. How do we make the right turn and overcome adversity? Believe me, madam, this is the most difficult thing in life. When things go smoothly, our life is pleasant and everything is pleasant around us. But the day we face the adversity, first of all, we get stuck. The only solution is to move ahead. In that move ahead, your question goes with make the right turn. It is another challenge, especially. Because challenge, if you see the word itself, change is there inside challenge. It's not easy, but one solution I have from my heart, I'm telling you, I'm sharing my knowledge with youngsters called Gavel Club. I'm sharing my knowledge with other Toastmasters, which one of them is in Qatar Al-Khor community. I'm diverting my time and attention for productively and positively. This is what I feel from my heart. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And I want to highlight something here. Lessons come from bad experiences. This is how we learn. And there is something I always share when I ever do public speaking workshops. I always highlight the word message. It's a two-word word. Mess plus age. With age, you turn your mess into a message. The only thing we need is a reflection. Most people do not reflect on their messes, and they just keep on moving. This is where we should take a pause and reflect in order to turn our lessons of our bad experiences into lessons. Everyone has them. No one likes them, but few people turn them into positive experiences. And I invite you to do that. Another question for you: why do you think people succumb so easily to their past negative experiences and they stay stuck there? Many people tell me, how did you overcome Jana's incident? I had to move on, or else I wouldn't have a life. Who would like to answer this question? Why do we succumb so easily to past negative experiences?
Yeah,
I would
ma'am.
like to try. Sorry.
Yes, please.
I'm Justin. I had a very bad experience when I was very young in my high school when I went on the stage for the first time ever in my life. About 1,000 people laughed at me, and I thought that is it. And then I couldn't even show my face anymore. And maybe it was 4 more years I never stepped on a stage because of the stage fright and everything. But then once it was just maybe the strong emotions why that day had happened. I took all my guts and I went on an audition for MC. I got the role and I started MCing in front of crowds, and that really changed my life. It was just one try. If you don't try it again, if you're not going to give your try again, it's never going to work, and then you'll be stuck in the past experience. It's just to try again and again.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing.
Hi, good evening. I would like to add something to what Justin has mentioned over here. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So I think the reason why people come to their past negative experiences, because once they face it, I mean, they've seen the how people react to it. It's from our psychological point of view that we tend to hide away from those reactions. That's why it's difficult for many of us to move away from the negative. From the negative past. Justin and I have shared the similar experience being on the stage, and people have laughed. We've missed our lines, and we've forgotten what needs to be spoken, and people have laughed at us. Nobody likes to be discouraged or looked down upon. Maybe that's the reason why it's difficult for people to move away from the past negative experiences. So yeah, that's the thing. So now,
yes,
yeah, I'm sorry, you can continue.
No, continue, please.
So the only way to overcome this is, it correlates to what's happened in the past. How do you take the right turn? I mean, the only way you can do is you do it again, you try again, even if it fails. I mean, the first time more number of people might laugh. Second time, you know what you did in the past, and you can try not to repeat it again. And then you might improvise over your mistake. Maybe this is how we can take the right turn as well. We can evaluate from our mistakes, what we have done in the past, and then we can move forward. And maybe that's how we can, taking a right turn is basically evaluating the situation and the scenario. Thank you.
Definitely. This is what John Maxwell calls failing forward. And failing forward, he actually play roles it on stage. Usually when we trip, most of us fall forward. But when you fall forward, you have at least moved a bit. You have made a small progress. And then you reflect on that failure. Why did I fail? What happened? What are the causes? And once you reflect, you stand up again and you move on. And I would like to share with you also that life is exactly like our heartbeats. Up and down, up and down. So we go up, we go down, and we go up and we go down, exactly like our heartbeats. This is where we learn when we fall. And imagine life a straight line, we're dead. It's just like the heartbeats exactly. Okay, what are some ways people can heal from the traumas of the past? We're going to explore that together. And the best way is to have a positive perspective. It is very tough to maintain it. And having a positive perspective doesn't mean we deny reality. Like the reality of Lebanon. We are in an economic collapse. We are in a free fall, if you want, and soon we will hit rock bottom. But my positive perspective is we need to hit rock bottom as fast as possible, because once we hit that rock bottom, the only way is up again. And this is when change will happen. And during this free fall, now we are planting the seeds of values, the values needed, the values that we have lacked. And this is why our leaders are corrupt, if you want, in some way or another. So now we're planting, it is the right time to plant the seeds of values in our youth. So I'm really looking forward to hitting rock bottom. What the other steps we should do is change from good intentions to good actions. We have to become possibilists. We have to become people of action. We cannot stay or remain in our comfort zone. This is the time to challenge ourselves and to bring the hero from within to face those challenges. Another question now for you, and this is due to the crisis we're having now. Would you rather stay at home in isolation, or would you rather work together? Who would like to take that question?
I would like to answer that question. Being a teacher, I
Yes,
would definitely like to work together, because this isolation is really, really killing us. As teachers, we don't see our students. It's always on screen. We don't know how they feel.
Yes.
We don't know if they understand what we are doing, although we are doing our very best to get our lessons across to them. So definitely work together. Keeping to the safekeeping standards, but work together.
Yes, it's a big challenge. I will share with you a tip here. Usually in classrooms, we call on our students to say present or absent. Instead of doing that, many teachers on screens are now asking their students this question, how are you feeling today? So some show the happy face, some show the sad face, some show the grumpy face or the angry face. If you want to do some kind of exercise of feelings and emotions, this is an idea maybe you can share with them. I'm gonna I see the green light. I'm gonna go through the 11 perspective principles about a crisis. The first one is, keep in mind that everything worthwhile is uphill. It's not downhill. It's always going up the hill from the beginning, if you want, from the, as I say, from the crib to the grave. From the first day we're born until the day we die, we keep on going uphill and striving uphill. It's not easy. The second one, there is always an answer. Always. There's an answer. You just have to look for it. You just have to shift your thinking and take action. The next one, allow adversity to help you discover who you really are. Imagine we didn't have any challenges. How would I know my potential? How would you know your potential? How would you stretch? We need adversity so we can stretch exactly like a rubber band. There is a law of growth in John Maxwell in his 15 laws of growth. There is the law of the rubber band. It's for you to know how much you can stretch in your potential and in your growth. So adversity helps you discover that. And the question is yours now. Can somebody share an example of how something difficult turned out to be beneficial for you? This is the Beirut blast. This is a picture of the port of Beirut. Can somebody share how a challenge or how a difficult moment turned out to be beneficial for them?
May I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, when the pandemic started, we, an organization of 17 apex body of organizations in Qatar Pravasi Coordination Committee, we planned to arrange a chartered flight free of cost. And when we published the news, we got around 1,400 plus requests. From there, we screened and we selected very eligible people, around 250. When they reached home, the comments was still giving positive signs to us because they reached home in that difficult time.
Amazing. That's amazing. Very nice story to share. Sorry. Okay. 4, develop a positive life stand as much as possible, as much as you can. Just develop this stance of positivity around you. You can spread it everywhere you go. It walks with you in the room. I'm going to go quickly, excuse me, Mr. Timer, just to finish those 11 perspectives. The fifth one is feed your faith and starve your fears. As much as possible, focus on your faith, focus on hope, focus on what you believe in, especially humanity nowadays. We need to believe in humanity. We need to believe in the human being. This is what keeps us going and keeps us hopeful in those times. I'm gonna skip the question because I don't have any more time. A problem is something we can fix, but a fact of life is something we cannot control and fix, but keep in mind that it doesn't control us. Keep on thriving as much as possible. 6, realize that motions influence emotions. If you stay at home in isolation, it's definitely gonna affect your emotions. You're gonna be angry, you're gonna be stressed, you're gonna be bitter. But if you make a move, if you shift your thinking, at least shift your way of thinking, you would feel better and your emotions will become better. Here's a few sentences I've written for you just to share. If I feel depressed, then I will sing. If I feel sad, then I will laugh, and so on and so on. Just to make it quick, today matters. Keep it in mind. Just somebody today now shared that we have to think of the moment now. Today matters. The past is the past. The future, I cannot control it. I don't know what's going to happen. Today I'm here, tomorrow I'm not. So think about today. Another question, which I will skip to keep going just for time. I'm sorry about that. Reflect instead of react to adversity. Reflect. And reflection, believe me, is a pause that we all need, exactly like the pauses we take in speeches. Reflection path, review yourself, ask questions, talk to yourself, direct yourself, then take action. I'm sorry, I'm going so fast. 9, adversity makes you relatable to others. Why? Because it shows our humanity. We relate, our authenticity just surface in adversity. Again, I will skip the question. Always look for the big picture, because in adversity, most people think of themselves. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my career? What's going to happen to my family? We all stick to ourselves. No, look at the big picture. Look at the global picture. What's going to happen to all of us? And last one, adversity makes a person grow strong, especially in maturity. This is how we grow. This is how we develop. And when it comes to personal growth, this is when we realize that it is the time to grow. And I know many people that have invested in themselves during COVID-19 instead of wasting their times on Netflix and other entertainment stuff. And thank you so much. And sorry, Mr. Timer. And I hope we still have time for the questions and answers.
We'd like to thank you, ma'am, for taking this topic, because thriving in adversity is a difficult topic, and thanks for that. Thriving in prosperity is the most easiest thing.
Most welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Arjun, and this is my friend Suhail. We are from India. And I actually saw your TEDx talk before attending this session, and it was really good. But I had a question regarding that, and it's regarding a quote that you also mentioned just now. And you told that hold God in your heart, and the human, and that's the only way you make change enemies to humans. So maybe I'm quoting it wrong, but you told hold God in your heart. What do you exactly mean by it? Like, do you mean by prayers, or do you mean like the goodness, or what exactly do you mean by hold God in your heart?
Holding God in your heart. I mean by holding God in your heart, if you want, I'm going to explain it in a different way. You know the word ego, right?
Yeah.
Ego stands for edging God out. And when I say edging God out, is edging your faith in humanity, your faith in your creator, your faith in anything, in a hope, in peace, in all these, okay? When we put God out of our hearts, the human being can go to the extreme. He can be violent, he can turn, I've witnessed it in the Civil War, unfortunately. We were dealing with beasts, we were not dealing with human beings, especially that I was a volunteer in the Red Cross at the age of 14, and I saw monstrosities. I witnessed monsters. What we've done to each other is unbelievable. And this is because we didn't hold our faith in our heart. If you want, I can word it as such. Have faith in our creator, have faith in humanity.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for your reply.
You're welcome.
Dear Sadika, your TEDx talk is such an inspiration, one of the best examples of how words can be so powerful. Just thank you so much for that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sadika, for the informative session that you've just shared with us. Thank you so much for your time and for all the effort that you put to make the planet so beautiful to be in. So thank you for that. Could we please give her a round of applause?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was such an honor to be with such a beautiful audience. Thank you.
Yes.
And sorry for the time again.
No, you've been great. You've been great. You know, they say no meeting is complete without a Zoom picture. So I would request everyone to please turn on your camera so we can take that picture that everybody talks about that we need to take when we're in a Zoom meeting. Host, are you ready to take us? One, two, three, smile. Thank you.
Thank you. And all the best for the contestants. Enjoy, have fun, and keep in mind what you know they don't know.
I do have a couple of questions that did pop in while you were going on with your session. Are you ready to answer them? They want to hear it from you. So are you ready for them?
Yes, of course.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So one of the questions that came in was, with so much adversity going on at such a young age, how do you get your sense of true belonging and stability?
I wouldn't hide from you. At the beginning, I really didn't feel that I belonged to my country because of the atrocities I've witnessed. But then I held on to my roots because I believed in the Lebanese human being. They are generous people. They are well-educated people. They are really creative people as well. And hope kept me on going. It is hope that keeps people going. And I really believe that where we are born, this is where our purpose is. For else, why did God put me in that country? I was sent to this country, to this land, in order to deliver something, in order to fulfill my purpose in life. And this is what really rooted me to Lebanon. I never left this country. I always traveled, of course, for leisure or for conferences or anything, but I never thought of immigrating or leaving the country because I believe that my purpose is here.
Thank you for that. I hope that has answered the question for the person that asked. Then one of the next questions that came in was, they said, thank you, Ms. Sadika, for the wonderful session. My question is, how do you manage emotional adversity?
Again, I say it's not easy. And this is why I became a coach. It was first for my emotional health and mental health before anything else. When you train and you become a coach, you know how to pull yourself up very quickly. as I said, life is like our heartbeats. It's up and down. The difference between coaches and other people is that we pull ourselves very quickly. Instead of staying there and in that pit of darkness, we go there. It doesn't mean we don't go there, but we give ourselves this time of reflection and then stand up again on our feet and move on.
Yes, that sounds absolutely legit to do. One other question that came in is one of the Toastmasters has written in saying preparation is key for success. I prepare for a speech, but they find themselves in a sense of difficulty when delivering. How do they stick to their script?
Okay, here I would like to tell you there's this quote that says, practice makes perfect. My experience in speaking and Toastmasters is practice makes permanent. If I don't get feedback and the right feedback, whatever mistakes I'm doing while speaking, whether it comes to body language or facial expressions or tone of voice, or even the speech itself as a content, if I don't receive feedback, my mistakes will become permanent. So always practice, first of all, with yourself in front of a mirror, or maybe loud in your room, and then a close friend or a family member, and then slowly let your circle grow and keep on practicing and asking for feedback. If you don't ask, and they have to be honest. And the best feedback I've ever had is from Toastmasters, of course, because they really give you right on feedback. So feedback is a must, and this is how you overcome your fears.
And that's why we're all members. That's true. That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yes.
So I know the timer's gone on red on me, but we have one more question that is, you had one of your slides, you had mentioned that to be an inspirational leader, one must roll up their sleeves and, go right in there. The question to you was, why aren't more people doing this then?
Well, what I say is, it could be lack of awareness. It could be it could be lack of awareness, or most of us, as I said, when crisis hits, the first thing we think of is ourselves. And we get stuck in that cycle. What is going to happen to me? What am I going to do? What about my future? What about the future of my children? What, so on and so forth. We have to step out of that circle, of that me, if you want, and think of the we. In crisis, we have to move and shift our thinking to the we in order to take action. Once we start thinking of the we can take action.
I know I'm all red over here, but here's a last quick one for you.
Sure.
Have you written a book? And if you have, what is the title of your book?
Yes, I've written 2 books, but not yet Becoming Human, because I believe that my purpose on this earth is to become human. We are born under the label of human, but it's a journey to become human. So my first book was academic. I used to teach at the university. I was a professor in Shakespeare, comparative literature and stuff. It was totally a different path. So I have an academic book out there on Amazon. It's called The Temptations of the Flesh in Madame Bovary and the Awakening. And the second book is a compilation of 20 short stories, true short stories, that took place in the most underprivileged area in Lebanon called Bib Tibene. And the book is called The Hidden Face of Scheherazade. And my third book, of course, you might have guessed, it's Becoming Human, or it might be A Girl Once Named Mary, or A Girl Once Called Mary. So I'm in a dilemma between the titles.
We will wait for your book. Before the timer jumps out on the screen, out of the screen, I will say thank you so much for taking time to be part of this and for answering, if not all the questions that we had in store for you. Ladies and gentlemen, could we please give a loud applause for the lady of the hour?
Thank you so much. Much love from Lebanon. An honor.
Before you leave, I have a small request, and I'm myself Subair Pandav, visionary director. I have seen a lot of chats. People would like to hear from you more, maybe a 2-hour session. If you would like to come back to us, I can arrange a session under our division, and we would like to see you back in Qatar. Thank you so much, and I would again request you, and I will keep in touch with you, and we will arrange a 2-hour session for all of us, and all other Toastmasters who missed this session also can attend this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and ready to serve anytime. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so we will move on to the next part, which is I would like to invite District Director DTM Thayalan to give us a vote of thanks and to present Miss Sadika, DTM Sadika, with a token of appreciation.
Thank you, MC Smita Ibrahim. Thank you very much. Our trainer today, distinguished Toastmaster SADIKA KEBBI, fellow Toastmasters and the guests, good evening. It is a pleasure to see all of you here in this platform. And when we had these 4 trainers, I was in a dilemma, where to attend, what to attend. But I went to the topics, which one is more relevant to us, especially for me. I thought this is the topic where I have to be. So I chose this. And the second reason why I chose this one is, I have seen Dr. DTM Sadika in one of their club meetings. Some of you may be wondering where I could have seen her. Yes, she is part of District 116. If any of you don't know, she is one of us. She is part of District 116. She's a member of Athena International Toastmasters Club, all women's club. Their men are not allowed. As a district director, I got a special privilege to enter there for their charter night, and I was there. So I met her. And one of the things that day I noticed in DTM Sadika is, normally in this online gathering, we see people, sometimes they will switch off their video, sometimes they will be switch on the video, whatever they want, they will do everything. The entire meeting, I was, as most of you know, I always keep my video on. Because that is what I do, and I always expect people to do that. That entire meeting I was attending, an entire meeting, not a single second she switched off her video, and not a single second she diverted her attention. No, I can see the reactions of the speaker's view and the emotions on DTM Sadika's face. How she was communicating with the people. No, it was amazing. Now, why I'm saying that is, when I used to give her speeches, I pick few people whom I have to look into that. Because what happens in an actual speaker, when we have an in-person meeting, while you are speaking, you can see somebody very busy in a mobile. Somebody will be trying to talk to some other people. But there are some people, they will travel with you on your speech. Those are the people they are going to encourage and motivate you to deliver. I felt a person, such a person in DTM Sadika. You are an amazing audience for anyone to have it. And today I have seen you as an amazing trainer. And as even I have seen some of the chat box, people were saying that why not you bring for you again? And I think since she is part of our divisions, I hope we have the free access to her to invite her to do a wonderful session. As our division director said, definitely we'll come for a longer session. We'll see that. I'll request our division director to take care of that. Thank you very much, madam, for your time. And it is an amazing session. We learned a lot. It is really apt for all of us. Thank you very much. And may I request our host, Shruti, to please share that appreciation certificate. Yes, madam, this is a token of appreciation for your time and effort for us. Thank you, madam.
So much. It was a pleasure and an honor. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words. I'm really humble. Thank you.
Pleasure, ma'am. Thank you very much. And also take this opportunity to thank few people of our district. First of all, the man of this education session, that is our distinguished Toastmaster Sabari Prasad. He is the person who has shortlisted all the trainers and arranged an enormous amount of PR activities and what, because today we had around 65 attendees at one point in time. No? Just imagine we have 4 sessions parallelly running and we have 65 attendees here. It is an amazing task. Thank you very much for Sabari for that. And my sincere thanks to our MC, Toastmaster Smita Ibrahim, host, Toastmaster Surdi Maman, and our co-host and timer, Nijaz Noor. More than anything, my sincere, heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you audience for being here and actively participating and be a nice audience here. With that, I will give control back to MC.
Thank you. Thank you for that. With that, we have come to the end of our training session. I would like to thank each and every one of you for zooming into our session. It's not over, folks. Not yet. DTAC 2021 has so much lined up for you. So please go ahead and click the Zoom link that you see in the chat box, and that will take you straight back to where the magic is happening in the main room of the DTAC 2021. Goodbye from me and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you everyone. So MC will go the last.
Looks like I'll make sure everyone's back in the main room.
Co-host.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So from the we can leave the room and we can join, right? Same way.
So you can click on the link. You can click on the link which is pasted within this chat box. If you can open your chat box, you can see a link. So directly click on that, you'll be routed to the main session.
Thank you.
Thank you for stepping up and asking the first for breaking the ice. That was done by you. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So 11 more members are here.
11 more members need to click that link.
Yes. Okay, thank you, MC and host. I'll be joining the other
Thank you.
session.
It's been such a pleasure working with you. Really. Thank you, Nijaz.
Yes. Nijaz, thank you for all the support. Yeah.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you.
Shall we wait, Smita, or?
You want to go ahead? I can just make sure that everybody's out. Somebody's trying to enter now. Why? Maybe they need help.
Maybe. Who was that?
Cheryl, unless she's left now.
No, not now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll stop the recording now.
Okay.
Right.